Welcome back, guys. Today we are talking about something that is near and dear to my homeschool love and heart, which is not school. Let's talk about summer fun. Let's talk about homeschool days. Let's talk about vacations. Let's go. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are in our 8th year of homeschooling, wrapping it up, and we are nearing summer, and I have senioritis. Let's talk about how summer fun is near. Before we go any further, guys, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. While you are down there, go ahead and click on the link. Use my special offer code to visit today's video partner. Today's video partner is Epic Water Filters. Let me tell you why Epic Water Filters makes me really happy. 1, they make a really cool product. I have this really cool flippy bottle, which is really cool. However, they are a company with a conscience, and I always love to be able to share companies that started under interesting circumstances or have persevered or answered a serious problem with the way that the world currently operates. That is something that Epic Water Filters has done a very good job of. So springing from a desire to help the people of this planet have access to clean water in areas where they did not, they have developed an amazing United States-made water filter. And they have done something else that I think is incredibly amazing. They have designed it to fit bottles that you already have in your home. So while they do offer for purchase bottles that fit their filters, they have under sink filters and they have fridge filter pitchers. What they have done, which I think is truly amazing and something that will truly set this company apart. If you see this water filter right here, every order comes with 2 of them. And there's one for tap water, and there is one for outdoor international water. So basically, the kind of water that's not coming out of your tap, the kind of water that isn't readily safe to drink. So this one improves the taste of your water, and the other filter will make your water safe when it's not. What they have done is designed these filters to fit Nalgene bottles, which you can buy right on their site, as well as this ball stock bottle. They have designed their filters to fit bottles that you already have in your home. Yetis, Hydro Flask, Camelback, Simple Modern. And I think it is incredibly brilliant that they have gone so far as not only to answer a problem that is out in the world, but to reduce the problem in the first place. So they designed a product to fit bottles that you already have in your home. So the rampant consumerism is being combated by this company that makes their filters in the United States of America for you, for products that you already own, and they ship them to you. They are packaged in compostable materials. Compostable and recyclable packaging. I think it's amazing. I truly believe in the mission of this company. You can save 15% with my special code that I'm going to put right here, and I will link it up in the corner, and it is linked down below in the description box. So be sure to check them out. I like this double wall stainless because, like I said, we are out, we are on the go, and summer fun is at hand. So let's jump into today's video topic. So it is the season. It is the season for being really burnt out with school, for having senioritis, for knowing that I need to finish this current school year before I nose down too hard in planning the next one, and also for not cutting too many corners now that we have neared the end of the year. There is better weather. There is so much more fun stuff to do out and about in the world. We've got homeschool days, we've got homeschool field trips, and it's summer vacation. So in this video, you will be seeing our homeschool day trip to the Kemah Aquarium and a little stroll around the Kemah Boardwalk. You will also be seeing 2 homeschool field trips, which are actually in the same field trip. We are hoping to visit the Alamo because we're starting to wrap up our kind of end of our Texas history study for this year. So we would like to visit the Alamo. I would also like to do the San Jacinto Monument, but that will probably just be either a smaller snippet of a video or a reel that I share later, because we're not doing that for a little bit longer, month or so. I also am hoping to get out and do something really fun. So I'm hoping to visit Natural Bridge Caverns and give you just a little quick look inside some of the fun stuff that you can do around the hill country area of Texas while we are also seeing the Alamo. And I want to rope those both into another homeschool day at SeaWorld San Antonio. I have shared about them in the past. So fun. I love that they open up the parks to homeschool families. Basically, no rides, no food, but all education and animals, and it's great. And we have gone several years in a row now, so we will be taking you along for that as well. Now, we also are going to be talking about our summer vacation. Now, summer vacation for me, I like to do in May before everybody's out of school. But because my daughter has performances through the first weekend of May, we kind of have like a small window to make things happen. We also have some big graduation parties coming up this year that we definitely want to be here for. So, summer vacation for me is kind of like my finish line. I know that I want our homeschool year done by the time we go on this vacation. So that for me is motivation to push us through the end of the year. And summer vacation this year, I am hoping, I will take you through our planning, but I am hoping that it is going to be Dollywood, hiking in the Smoky Mountains, and maybe winging out just enough to visit Graceland, which has nothing to do with education, but oh, it's gonna make me so happy. So that is the plan. That is where this video is going. Let's jump in. We're gonna start with Kemah Homeschool Day. Let's go.
Hey, good morning. Sorry about the lighting. We're strolling through the house here. Okay, so today the girls and I are headed to the Kemah Aquarium, Kemah Boardwalk for Homeschool Day. It will be absolutely amazing, and we are so excited. The weather is terrible, and I was most excited to, well, that's interesting, to do a squid dissection today, but they canceled for lack of signups. So instead, we will be not doing that, but enjoying everything else. And we are excited. So come along with us. This will be probably the first snippet in a video about fun things and summer fun things. And it will include this fun and amazing, awesome homeschool day. Stop looking sad. And SeaWorld homeschool day. And hopefully a little snippet to the Alamo, because we are excited. Anyways, so this is the start of that video. It is rainy. It is gross. But you're coming along with us anyway. Let's go. Yes. So, okay. Starts at 10. I confirmed. But they're going to start checking at 10:30, 10:45. So we are early. Story of my life. Always the first one there. Okay, back in the car, a little like, I don't know, moist and fuzzy haired because of the humidity and being in the active rain for like a large portion of it. Off to a bumpy start. Okay, so the start was pretty rough. I didn't feel like they had a firm grasp on what was happening. But it was good. It was good. You just need to go with metered expectations. Like, your kid's not gonna get a ton out of this, but it's a really fun way to learn. And then no day is uneventful when you see the Cat in the Hat doing the cha-cha slide. That was something. That was something. And we have balloon animals. Do you want to show them up here?
Yeah. This is Brownie. She's a wiener dog.
Brownie the wiener dog. So good. Nice. Loving it. Perfect.
Okay, so continuing on with our video on fun homeschool summer craziness, we have just returned from San Antonio, which, if you don't know, we are only a few hours from. And part of the reason for hitting San Antonio, well, what motivated it is, if you aren't familiar, we have done SeaWorld's Homeschool Day in the past, and San Antonio has a SeaWorld location. So that will actually be kind of the end of the trip. But because we were going to be attending the Homeschool Day for San Antonio SeaWorld, we knew that we would be in the area. We luckily can stay with family, which makes it incredibly affordable, and it's only a few hours away. So it's a really nice kind of fun trip for like an extended weekend. And we knew, since we're studying Texas history this year, that we definitely wanted to get over and hit the Alamo again while it is still kind of fresh in our minds as far as our Texas history studies. So we made a full weekend of it. We were able to get over for about like 2.5 days. So what we did is we went ahead and figured out what are some of the things that we want to do in the area, and something that we hadn't done in a long time, at least not in long enough that my youngest can remember it, is doing some of the caves or caverns that are in the area of the Texas Hill Country. So we were able to decide which cavern. There's several out in the area. There's Cave with No Name, Cascade Caverns, and Natural Bridge Caverns, which is kind of one of the bigger ones. And they've built an entire complex out there. So they've got gym mining, they've got like a drive-through wildlife thing, which I've never done, all built around this cave that was on this family's property, and actually the original owners do still own it. So we had all these things that we knew we wanted to do. The only one that was time sensitive was SeaWorld. And so I basically just gave my husband the option, like, all right, talk with Grandma and Grandpa who are going to be there with us, and let's all figure it out who would rather do which things, and we will kind of structure our plans around that. So we went ahead and of course, you know, kids are busy. So kids were busy Saturday. So we got up at pre-crack of dawn and headed out towards San Antonio. So we left in an effort to be to Natural Bridge Caverns when they opened. Stopped for breakfast, you know, those kinds of things, and then got there. Unexpectedly, the weather was quite chilly, and we didn't expect that for every day that we were there. So we weren't entirely packed as ideally as I would have hoped, but we did get to go see Natural Bridge Caverns. So Natural Bridge Caverns was very fun. It's one of those weird mixes of getting to learn about science, getting to experience natural wonders, but also a little bit of history, because they're talking about the methods that they used when they discovered the caverns in the early 60s. They're talking about how they knew that there was another type of cavern. We're talking about different kinds of rock. We're talking about fossils. We're talking about stalactites and stalagmites and soda straws and all kinds of different formations. It really is wonderful and super entertaining. If you ever get an opportunity to do something like this, I highly recommend it. This one, for example, is kind of expensive, and we did opt to do the combo tour, which was both sides. So it is kind of expensive, but again, we haven't done it in probably we haven't done this particular cavern in probably 15 years. So there are other options, but just think of it as one of those kind of like once in a blue moon roadside attraction type of things. But it is fun. There's a lot of learning involved. I was really glad we were there at opening, because the 9 a.m. tour had practically no one on it. We got to go in and really enjoy and experience the caverns. They do that fun thing where they have everybody sit down on these specially made benches and they turn all the lights off because it is total darkness, and that's really fun. We just had a wonderful time, to be quite honest with you. And this is something that for me, I have taken school trips to, if it was like an event where we were in the area, or went with my grandparents on a vacation when I was quite young. And so for me, it is very nostalgic to be able to take my kids. I absolutely love San Antonio, love it so much. So that was day one. We also got the opportunity to hit, it's one of those random things. I'd seen an Instagram reel about a Star Wars themed restaurant in Texas. And I was like, man, that's so cool. And they're like, it's in Bernie. And I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? And so it's very close to where we were. It was right on the path from one destination to the next. And so we pulled off and had the wildest lunchtime experience. I have to tell you, they are jam-packed busy. There was a line. Our wait was pretty reasonable. It was only about a half an hour. And it lived up. It honestly lived up, because while it is a total novelty, it is absolutely just one of those like random, fun, completely frivolous things. The pizza was good, the cost was reasonable, and the experience was top notch. So if you get an opportunity to visit the Dark Side Pizza Co., go in. You've got to see what they have in this place. It is awesome. It's worth the wait, and I didn't feel like we were gouged because of the novelty, if that makes sense. So highly recommend it. Also, the next day, what we did is we got up, and it was our day of like our Texas history tour. So Grandpa tagged along with the girls and I, and we headed into the proper San Antonio, city proper, right over by the Riverwalk, and started our plan. Now, there were a few things that I knew I wanted to do on this trip. My youngest has gotten really into Girl Scouts, and there are a couple of Girl Scout specific things, patches and badges that you can earn in the San Antonio area. So we knew we wanted to focus on that. I did go ahead because I knew that we would be doing the missions. I knew that we would be doing these couple of patches, and I knew that we needed to be prepped and ready to go. So I did print a few things out ahead of time. For example, the National Parks website, you can print some junior ranger, like there's 4 national and state parks. There are resources available online where you can kind of look ahead at what some of those things are. So we were able to pre-print their junior ranger booklets and staple them and have them on them so they could take those around with them. We were able to print the requirements for these patches and badges so that we had them available. We could just fill them in as we were walking around the city of San Antonio. Something that I did not anticipate, because, and this is not the first time it's happened to us, San Antonio is like a convention, like event city, okay? So they always have something going on. And it is the perfect mix of major hotel and restaurant brands, as well as history, but also the design of the city. So the Alamo Dome is adjacent, within a short walking distance to major hotels and the Riverwalk, adjacent to short walking distance to the convention center, adjacent to all of the museums and City Hall and the courthouse. All of these are just kind of packed, river, shopping, the whole 9 yards. All of it is packed to a very small footprint of an area. So there's other stuff outside of that area, but everything that you would need for like a big event is in this wonderful centralized little bitty spot, which is great. But also, again, we've messed this up before and gone for accidentally attended during like a bowl game weekend when we couldn't figure out why everything was so expensive. So we did it again. It was the day of the final Four game for the NCAA basketball championship. So, whoops, but plenty of fun. So we went over and we went ahead and parked at River Center Mall because it's very central to all of this location. Parking was scary, so high. But with the convenience. And then there were tons of roads shut down for all of the events that they had going on for the Final Four. There's construction everywhere. So if you go to the Alamo, we hadn't been in a few years, and it has so drastically changed, even just in the few years. I've shared it on this channel, our last trip to the Alamo. So it's only been a few years, and it is wildly changed. I did opt for, you don't have to do it, but I did opt for like an audio tour. My kids Absolutely love them. Absolutely love it. And then we get a lot of information out of it. Now, there were 37 chapters on the audio tour, and I was like, that's too many. Let's pick our highlights and we'll go from there. So the Alamo Plaza, they are actually working to reclaim the original footprint of the Alamo, which is really hard because it's right smack dab in the middle of the city. However, there was a period of time when the Alamo was not preserved in the way that it should have been. Like, it was literally attached to a French grocery store at some point. So they are actively working to kind of bring back the reverence and the it's a really important place in Texas history. So they do have the Alamo Plaza. It was under construction last time we were there, and the street out front was actually still open. That is no longer the case, and they have gone right across the street, and they've started hollowing out some buildings, and they're going to use those original facades of the buildings to incorporate into a massive new education center, which I think is going to be really awesome. But a lot has changed on the grounds since we were there last. So we did the audio tour, walking around. There's a whole new exhibit museum behind the Alamo, which was really wonderful, and it actually houses artifacts from collectors, one of which is Phil Collins. The Phil Collins of British musical fame and musical inspiration for Tarzan. Like, the Phil Collins. Apparently he watched the Walt Disney special on Davy Crockett when he was a boy, and it just inspired his love. And then he grew up and got grown-up money to do wild grown-up things with, and started collecting artifacts from the Alamo, and they are now on display at the Alamo, which is so wild, so random, and so cool. But this new building is stunning. It is gorgeous. We had a great time. One of the exhibits, one of the cases features a cannon that was originally fired at the Alamo that is actually growing a kind of mold, because the cannon was made of several different kinds of metals that don't really play nicely together. And so it was a little bit of a fun chemistry tie back to things we've just learned in chemistry. So that was really fun. So things we didn't expect were the ESPN stage out front of the Alamo for broadcasting for the Final Four. We did not expect that a portion of the Alamo grounds would be closed off for a private Capital One event. But we had a great time. We did not splurge for the AI thing, and I'm really glad we didn't. I thought it was not something that I would like anyway, but then when I saw what it actually was, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't pay more for that. So that, I thought it would be like all over. You take like a tablet and it like shows, but it's not. It's just like some things in one of the, not for me, not for me. Anyways, so that. Now from there, we did continue on and start a walking tour of San Antonio for the Girl Scout patch. Now, this was really, really, really hard because so many of the streets and areas around this area of San Antonio were shut down for big stages, big events. They're roped off for parties and things for the NCAA. And it was becoming increasingly busy while we were there, because I was thinking Monday morning, yes, it won't be too busy. Wrong, 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 because everybody was in town for the game. So there's that. Now, once we completed about as much as we felt comfortable we could complete with the walking tour, we did grab some lunch, popped into a few stores there in the River Center Mall that my daughter absolutely loves. And then we headed on to our next destination being the Missions of San Antonio. If you don't know, there are about 5 original Spanish missions still located along the river that takes you into San Antonio, with the northernmost being the Alamo. That is actually the kind of the original structure of the Alamo, was the Spanish mission. So we headed down south and we did see 2 of the other Spanish missions, Mission de San Jose and Mission de San Juan. And it is so shocking to me. They're relatively close to each other, maybe like a 5-minute drive, but they're in such incredibly different states of preservation. But it was really fun to get to do these things and to get out there. They still operate as churches on Sundays. It was a really enjoyable experience, and I really appreciated that the last one that we went to, which was more intact, did focus on the Spanish, pastors and priests and missionaries kind of wrangling up Native American children to indoctrinate them into the Christian ways from their heathen roots. And then it did talk about how San Antonio was a safe space during slavery times, and they just had a whole exhibit on it, and I thought it was absolutely wonderful because it wasn't glossed over and it wasn't ignored, but you can still enjoy history and learn about history without wiping out some of those really significant impacts. And so I greatly appreciated that. And my kids, because we had our Junior Ranger book, they were able to take their Junior Ranger pledge and get their special little Junior Ranger badges all for free, which I thought was so fun. And something that we have started doing when we were in San Diego last year, I think it was last year, earlier this year, when we were in San Diego, one of the things that my daughter wanted to look for was a jean jacket. And so we went to like a Goodwill and picked up some jean jackets. And something that they've been doing since then is collecting patches from the places that we go. And it is a very inexpensive souvenir. And so they were excited they could get their patches from all of these places that we stopped. And I was excited because it is a low-cost souvenir. I'm talking usually about $10 for both of them. Really awesome. They have a place to put it. It's all good for me. So the final day of our trip, we did, well, actually, guess what? The best part of this might have been that, that Grandma and Grandpa babysat, and Dad and I got to go enjoy one of my absolute favorite places. It's a little brewery. It's right across from the river. It's so cute. They've got just the best vibe. And so we were able to kind of take a minute and go have a little date night, which was great. So the next day was the SeaWorld day. Now, SeaWorld Homeschool Day, it was really unique this year. It's been different every year we've done it. This is our third year. This year, they actually did 2 days back to back, and we happened to have friends go the other day, so I just wish we could have coordinated that because that would have been really fun. But Grandma and Grandpa tag along. The tickets, you place your order ahead of time, and it is $12 per person. And basically, the park is open. This year they had 2 concession stands open, which is new because they normally don't. But we pack a lunch, you can take your food in, and it's basically educational programming. So the only show that's going is the orca show, where they still are telling you how they have the orcas like get ready for being weighed, and how they keep them active, and ages, and the different sounds and behavior patterns and things like that. So it's still really educational and informative, but you get to see the orcas jump and flip in the air, which is so cool. So that, but other than that, there's just keeper chats and things you can do. They have special tables out with like crafts and experiments and things like that to keep you going. There is a bingo game on the back of your like specially printed like flyer that keeps you on track. It's reduced hours and it's really fun. There are no rides open, and with the exception of 1 or 2 stands, there's no food open. So it's not like full run of the park. It is strictly the educational aspects of SeaWorld, which I think is really great. I do feel like we should get back over there and go enjoy it as like an amusement park. Like, I think that could be really fun, and my kids are old enough to do that now. So we have had an amazing spring. It is giving me senioritis, and now it is time. I'm going to talk about our next vacation. So I don't think I'm actually going to get any of it into this video, but I have started planning and thinking about, well, I say spring, summer vacation to Pigeon Forge. Now, my intent is to go to Pigeon Forge, visit Dollywood, do some hiking, maybe a little rafting. I want to swing by and spend a couple morning hours in New Orleans to give my family a little taste for it, because they don't seem to have as much of an interest for making a trip to New Orleans on its own. So swing through, head on up, and enjoy the Pigeon Forge Smoky Mountain area, which I have never done, and I'm so excited. And then once we are finished there, head on over and come back a different way to take us through Nashville. We might stop at the Parthenon, but there's not a whole ton that I know of off the top of my head that would interest me to stay a little longer. So swing past the Parthenon, head over to Memphis and do Graceland, and that one is just for me. My Nana was a huge Elvis lover, and so Graceland, a visit. I really want to get over there, especially as it's being passed down further and further down the generations. It's just for me, and the tickets are so expensive, but I want to do it. And it's not a thing I would ever make an intentional trip for. So a one and done is probably it. And don't worry, I'll come back and share all this stuff with you because you know I love to. And I'm looking at ways that we can save money along the way. But after Memphis, heading back down. So I'm hoping to visit 5 states on a wild road trip and get in all of the random from Graceland to Cafe Du Monde. Why not? that is the intent. So I will be back to share that with you because it's fun and enjoyable. But like I said, or at least I hope I've said at some point over the course of filming this video over like a couple weeks, is that this is collaborative, guys. I come here and I share with you the fun things that we're doing, like the Kemah homeschool days, the Aquarium homeschool days, Pleasure Pier homeschool days, SeaWorld, San Antonio homeschool days for anything. I love to come here and I love to share them because I want to build the list. This is one of those sweet, sweet, sweet perks. Should this be the reason you homeschool? No. But is it an amazing perk to homeschooling? Yes, yes it is. These are the little benefits that make the homeschool world go round. And it's fun to look forward to, and they happen in the spring. And like I said, it is not helping my senioritis because I'm ready to be done. I'm ready for summer vibes, but here we go. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. And if you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Don't forget to drop location and the thing. So location and homeschool day. What have you got in your area that people need to know about? Let us know down below. Bye, guys.